Okay, YouTube, what's good with y'all? As y'all can see, we jumping straight into it, man. This is gonna be a recap of all three trades. Well, technically, I only took two trades since Monday. So I traded Monday, Tuesday. I didn't trade. Today's Wednesday. I think today's Wednesday. Yeah, I didn't trade today because I was being emotional Monday and Tuesday. So I decided to discipline myself and not take any trades. But I did still watch the market open. I did watch price action, and I did mark out a trade. So we're gonna go over that trade and then the two trades that I actually took. As y'all can see, there are the three trades right there. But we're gonna start off with this one over here on Wednesday. Also, I did post a new TikTok for y'all. Go follow the TikTok, FXDJ. Feel me? And follow the Instagram at 4XDJ. It'll be up there. You feel me? But like I said, let's just jump straight into it. So we have these lows that I marked out, was pretty much the bottom session, the bottom low of a previous New York session. We came down on EURUSD and swept it, right? Yeah, I know that's my trade setup. First off, we're starting with liquidity sweep. We're looking for an SMT. Let's go to GBPUSD and see if we got that SMT, which I know we did because, hell, I traded it while I was watching. So let's go and look. As y'all can see, this New York session on GBPUSD, insanity. The bottom low was way the fuck down here. London session was over here. We see, as you can see, we came nowhere near it. Nowhere near it, right? So boom, that gave me my SMT. Like I told y'all. So everything low. Boom, that gave me the SMT. London session on EURUSD gave me the liquidity sweep. We came down, swept that low, right? What's next? We got the SMT, we got a liquidity sweep. Now I'm looking for imbalances. We didn't inverse the imbalance, but we did get a bullish imbalance after we swept that low. Like, this was a perfect reaction. We didn't close below it. We closed above the low. Then we get immediate up candles. And I entered off of pretty much that first up candle closure. Because I was like, boom, that's a beautiful reaction. That's what you want to see when you get a liquidity sweep. Whoa. I was just trying to move it out the way, gang. Just like that. Fair value gap. You could have scaled down to the 1 minute time frame and found a faster one. But after being emotional those last 2 days, I was just trying to wait for a clear confirmation. You feel me? So I waited for the 5 minute candlestick to close. And I entered off of that candlestick. And I caught 14. I would have caught 14 points. I wanted to hold it if I would have actually traded up to either one of these highs. Because we got equal highs right here. And then we have this high right here. But that didn't happen. So it's fine. Even though I didn't trade, I still would have closed right there. Because, hell, that would have been 2 hours into market open. Y'all know I'm not looking to trade that long. Hour and a half to 2 hours tops. So I would have closed right there regardless. Or I would have went to sleep and just let the position run. But I'm glad I didn't do that because I would have just closed. So I'm glad I didn't trade at all. Because I never would have lost. But we still would have never came up and took out those highs. So there's that. Right. That trade was pretty simple. SMT, liquidity sweep, fair value gap entry. Right? That's all that I need. That's my strategy right there. And this Tuesday's trade, fucking gorgeous. Price action has literally been beautiful for me. For London session at least. I know I trade Forex. This was gorgeous. Let's just go over that. Feel me? As y'all can see, I already got the SMT marked out. GBP came up and swept out these highs, but it did not sweep them on EURUSD. What we did sweep one of them. There was two of them that GBP swept both of them, but we didn't sweep both of them on EURUSD. We only swept one. So that gave me the SMT and the liquidity sweep. Now what's next? Imbalances. Did we inverse? Nope, there was no inverse of fair value gap, but there was a 5 minute fair value gap that got formed. I also scaled down to the 1 minute time frame and found a 1 minute imbalance and a 1 minute shift of structure. But this trade was kind of anticlimactic. You feel me? Because I had these lows marked out, and if you're on my social media, I showed y'all that I had these lows marked out. TP1 was here, TP2 is here. I closed both positions at TP1 because I got emotional. You feel me? London session is kind of hit or miss if it's going to have a big move or a small move. Like, this was a small move. This was a big move. And today's price action was kind of a okay move, kind of in the middle. But it is what it is, my friends. You live and you learn. But that's why I didn't trade, because I was being emotional. Rather than letting the trade actually play out, I was too busy focused on not being wrong, right? Technically, I haven't been wrong. I just was too focused on being wrong. You feel me? And it was kind of fucking with my mental clarity when I was trading. That's why I didn't trade. I decided to discipline myself and not take no trades. And I had to watch that trade play out. And it was kind of the hardest thing I've ever done. Sitting there watching price follow your bias and then you not take the trade. Whew. But it is what it is. Got to hold yourself accountable somehow. Right? But like I said, we got an SMT, that blue line up there. We got a liquidity sweep, this orange line right here. And we got a fair value gap, this yellow box right here. Even if you missed the 1 minute fair value gap that I entered off of, you could have waited for the 5 minute fair value gap to form. And you could have waited for the 5 minute fair value gap to get, you know what I'm saying, reacted on. You still could have targeted AM session lows. And you would have banged out. But me personally, I entered way before that. And I let my emotions get the best of me. But other than that, price action was fucking gorgeous. Like, if I would have held that, that would have been a easily 1 to 3, maybe 1 to 2. I mean, can I grab the box, please? There we go. Yeah, 1 to 2.5. That's a beautiful ass trade. Literally no up candles. But I'm not gonna lie, we did get a 5 minute, like, when the candlestick started to go up, because it was moving up with some steam. So I was like, fuck, we just gonna react off this low and just chop around. And I didn't want that to happen, because I would have been more mad at myself if I didn't close the position and we went back up and I lost. So I was like, fuck it, see profit, take profit. Because at this point, I was already up 250 on that trade. So I was like, man, after break even, and pretty much I broke even on this trade, I was like, man, I'm just gonna take my profit and live to fight another day. That kind of pissed me off, because as soon as I closed the position, we dumped. And I was gonna re-enter, but I was like, nah, man, we don't chase trades. I closed my position. I'm done for the day, man. I made money. That's all that matters. Feel me? But that was beautiful. And Monday's trade, there was no SMT. I pretty much just entered off a liquidity sweep. We inversed the fair value gap and then got a fair value gap. So I was like, hey, man, that's enough for me. Imbalances and liquidity. Imbalance and liquidity is what moved the market. So when I get both of those in a trade, that's a clear confirmation for me. And there was a 1 minute shift of structure. The 15 minute and the 30 minute time frames have all aligned with this trade that we were going to take out 8 session lows. And we did that to the T beautifully. This position, I could have held a little bit longer down to the actual 8 session lows, but I closed just a little bit before that. You feel me? But it is what it is. I lost one trade that on Monday, and then I re-entered because I was still confident in my bias. My entry was just a little premature, let's just say that. So I closed it. I didn't even lose it. I just closed it. But I closed it down $100. I was like, fuck. So I pretty much only made, I made $250 on that trade. So I only made what? Like $100? So I'm up 100 on a prop firm. On a prop firm, funded account, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And so coming into Tuesday, I was like, okay, let's not make the same mistake. And let's actually trade for real. And I ended up doing the same fucking thing. Closed on position early. But I didn't lose no position. I only took one trade Tuesday. So I made $250 that day. Made $150 profit on Monday. So I'm only up $400, which is not bad. But I could have been up a lot more, pretty much double that, if I would have let the trades actually go to my full take profit instead of closing them early. But again, it is what it is, my friends. You live and you learn. Price action has been beautiful. All trades have been consistent with my strategy. Liquidity sweeps, SMTs, imbalances. That's all I use because it works, as you can see. Feel me? So technically, on market structure alone, technical analysis alone, I'm 3-0. On my actual P&L, I think I'm technically there have been 4 trades that I took, so I'm 3-4. But unnecessary loss, bro. Unnecessary. But it's okay. You live and you learn. That's why I didn't take the trade right here, because I had to discipline myself somehow. Feel me? So I didn't trade. But that's all I really got for y'all. It's pretty easy when your strategy is consistent and simple to go over the recaps. SMTs, fair value gaps, liquidity sweeps. That's all I really need to trade. Even if you would have traded New York session on Tuesday, that was a beautiful ass trade too. Liquidity sweep, fair value gap entry, right? I think this New York session was heavily news inflated. I'm not gonna lie. New York session, that's pretty much when all the USD news comes out. London session is when I get the Europe news and GBP, great, you know what I'm saying? Those the other currencies, those news. But it is what it is, my friend. I'm not mad. Price action has been beautiful. I've just been selling personally. But it is what it is, my friends. I cannot complain. I'm still up on the week and still up on the month. So let's just, hopefully we can continue. Tomorrow's going to be Thursday. I'm kind of ready. I'm ready to get into the markets and ready to get cracking. But that's all I got for y'all for these recaps, man. Pretty self-explanatory, man. It's pretty easy. Pretty simple. Remember, SMTs, imbalances, liquidity sweeps. And that's all I got for y'all, man. Hopefully y'all stay motivated. Hopefully y'all stay blessed. And I'm going to catch y'all boys in the next rip.